Good morning. Middle of the night glamma. Um, I can't sleep again. The snoring. My husband is so knocked out, and he worked really hard. He worked a double. He has to be back at work in the morning, so I'm not going to wake him up. Uh, but he is snoring so loud, guys. So I'm just waiting for my melatonin to kick in. But just wanted to say hello and good morning to, well, it looks like zero people, but it's okay. This is just me chatting, just sort of hanging out. Um, I got some listings done tonight, though, and that was nice. I I actually listed 6 things. Good morning. Oh yeah, elbow cough. Sorry, I do need to cough into my elbow. Good morning, card shop. Good morning, Raven. Me again. I know. Good morning, Lisa. You woke up to me. You can go back to bed, sweetie. It's just wonderful to see you. It's wonderful to see you all, guys. Thank you so much for popping up. Yeah, I literally the snoring is so loud that I cannot sleep. So I had to get up, take a couple of melatonin, and then I'm like waiting for those to kick in. Hey, Willow. Good morning. Wow, we all live with really snory people, or or we're just kind of night owls. I'm not sure. I've always been kind of a night owl though. Good morning, Willow. I've always been kind of a night owl, kind of when I first started working in the hotel business, I actually worked what's called night audit, and that's like an overnight shift. So we would, you work from like 11 at night till 7 in the morning. You kind of get used to that shift, and for the rest of your life, it really sort of makes you into a night owl. When I went into corporate sales in the hotel business and catering sales, um, I would uh, I would typically get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, guys, I have hiccups. 6 o'clock in the morning to get to work. Um, I think this is common with women in their 50s being up late. Yeah. Your puppy's snoring. Lisa, is it me, or do some of these dogs snore actually just as loud, if not louder, than their owners? Because I have two big dogs, and the little one is the snoriest snore. I'm just like, good God, shut up. She and my husband are like, and I'm just like, I can't take it. I gotta get up. So yeah, so I took some melatonin, and I'm just kind of waiting for that to keep it to kick in. The only thing that sleeps with me is cats. No snoring from them. They do, however, crop dust me on the rags. I've had that happen where my big dog is laying, because they like to face the door, and she has crop dusted me, and I've had to actually get up and stumble to the bathroom just to get away from her, because it's been, yeah, you've been a night owl most of your life. Yeah, Lisa, right? Me too, me too. And Raven, I think that is common. I think it's just one of those things where, oh goodness, I am so sorry. Where either you are or you aren't, and I are. I always have been. It was always difficult for me to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, although it was strangely easier whenever it was darker outside, because it just felt like I was, had just taken a nap and I was getting up again in the night. But never really been a big, morning person. Much more of a night person. Much more. So yeah, welcome, non-day walkers. Welcome, day sleepers. How are you? I hope everybody's doing great. Um, I shipped out, I shipped out like 5 Poshmark orders this morning. I had a really good weekend last weekend. Um, and I have an actual morning live for the day walkers, coming up tomorrow on Thursday at 10 a.m. Um, which means I'm gonna have to force myself to sleep tonight before my husband goes to bed. Yeah, we are vampires, Willow. see that emoji. That's cute. So yeah, I'm gonna have to force myself to go to sleep just so I can get up and actually, do the thing. Um, but for the night people, so that you don't miss anything, what I found was that I had 10 orders from Poshmark over the weekend, from Friday to Sunday, and of those 10, 7 of the 10 were men's clothing, and accessories. One of those was the eighth one was actually for a puppy. It was a puppy scarf from Bed Bath and Beyond, that I found at the bins, but it was new. It was on the card. And then, no, actually, that one came in a fun box. Hey, Michael. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the vampire section, dude. Come on in. It's friendly here. We're all just hanging out in our jammies. I'm actually going to take this off because I get hot every 5 minutes. You know how that goes. Um, well, if you're my age and you're a female, you kind of know how that goes. Did I hear about the strike on Etsy? As a matter of fact, Lisa, I did actually. Treasures Noir, Kayla told me about this last week, that this was coming up. And they said that they were going to strike from Monday of this week until Friday of this week, because of she had all the math, and it's not my strong suit to remember crap, to remember details. I'm more of a forest than a tree sort of person. But I do. She was telling me about that, and she said, "Oh yeah, we're all in jammies." Well, I mean, unless you're naked, you go, girl. Nobody can see you, Willow. No, I'm joking. Some of us wear jeans. Some of us wear sweats. I'm wearing like camo sweats and like a straight out of Goodwill t-shirt. Straight out of Goodwill. Um, Good morning, Lisette. You too? We're all up in the middle of the night right now. Hey, slumber party at Glamz. Um, so, so I heard about that, and from what I understand, it's in response to a recent thing where they raised, like, they started charging additional fees for stuff, and they raised fees for stuff. Is that shirt next to Compton? It is. It is. That Goodwill's right around the corner from Compton. Yeah. Yeah, it's a straight out of Compton t-shirt, but it's actually straight out of Goodwill. So yeah, that's where I that's where I hang. Um, so the Etsy strike, is supposed to end on Friday, but I think they're sort of sending a message to the people at Etsy, and to the managers of that platform, that excuse me, I'm so sorry, that I mean, they really were scalping people. You think eBay is bad with the fee bays, and Poshmark with the 20%, and I'm telling you, from what she went, you listing because I have a thrifting problem. Me too. Me too. I'm a thrifter with a listing problem. Yeah. Um, so she said that basically it was one of those things where, if you did the math, if you sold something for $5, you end up owing them like 42 cents. I mean, it was like it's just crazy, because they have like the cost to per item to list, and then they have the fees that they take off, but they also have fees for some sort of a vintage fee, and then they also charge, if the person found your ad listed, or if they found your listing on Google, on like Google Shopping or something like that. And I don't know exactly what it is, but it had to do with, if they find you on a specific ad, or were recommended by an ad, or say, hey, they click on something and say, hey, I saw an ad for this, then you also get charged for that. And so really what they're doing is they're just scalping and scalping. And these, most of the people who sell a lot of people who sell on Etsy are doing like handcrafted stuff. It's not just for resellers. I mean, there's a lot of vintage, but there's like handcrafted stuff. So I just, for anybody who's an artist, I'm so sorry, God. Ooh, excuse me. For anybody who's an artist who's creating things to sell on Etsy, they're cutting so far into the profit that it's not worth doing the creative thing. And so, people are missing out on money. Um, Kayla, check out Kayla with Treasures Noir. She talked about that on her, I think, on her Sunday morning brunch 2 weeks ago, like a week and a half ago. Um, so she was talking about the upcoming strike on Etsy, and that's still going, from what I understand. And while they're on strike, I have a union family. My husband is in the IBEW. My oldest son is he's in whatever union they have now for Amazon. And then my middle son is actually a Teamster. So we come from a union family. My husband's entire family were like iron workers. So they were in the iron workers union. My brother-in-law is a union. So it's really one of those things. Sorry, sorry, Lisette. It's really one of those things where I wouldn't cross a picket line. I just wouldn't. And if somebody's on strike, I will respect that. Most of the time, unless it's affecting, like, unless it's like a grocery store strike and it's the only grocery store within 50 miles or something, then I may have to find a way to get food. But for the most part, I do try to respect a picket line. I do. My grandmother was actually in a union. She was in the sewing union, or the cloth handlers union. I'm not sure what it was called, but she worked at a sewing factory, and she was in the union too. Your husband is a retired Teamster. Yeah, it's you know what I mean. Like, once you're, because really the only way to get fair working conditions is to demand it. And it's not just if you're in a union. Consider too that sometimes just the threat of a factory unionizing is enough to make. It must be the seamstress union. I'm guessing, Michael, if that's the name of it, because she sewed in a factory for years and years and years, and she was very pro union. And not everybody is. I get that. But it's just sort of that's part of our family identity, and it certainly has been lucrative enough, and provided great benefits for my husband and I. So, I think just even the threat of the union sometimes is enough to make people, a lot of companies like behave themselves and actually give, raises that are certainly deserved and earned. So, and otherwise you end up with third world factory conditions where people can work for a week, and make enough to barely feed their families. They're still living on the poverty level, and they're working 40 to 50 hours a week, or more. They can force you to work, around the clock if they want to, and fire you for not being able to. So, long story short, I wouldn't cross that picket line. I wouldn't do it anyway, just on general principle, because I do think that, if you're punishing people for selling on your platform, you should have to have your platform affected in some way, so that people know that, these sellers are serious. So, bravo to the union. Not the union, but the bravo to the Etsy sellers for doing it, for having the cojones to do it. So I'm all for that. Uh, and then Kayla was talking about an alternative place, and I forget what the name of it is, guys. I'm so sorry, but there is, again, check out Treasures Noir latest video. She does have a new selling platform for craft stuff. So if you have like notions, fabrics, sewing things, needles, thread, yarn, that sort of thing, I think that this is going to be a good platform. It's a good alternative for selling on Etsy, and they seem to have a very fair dispensation of money and percentages. Um, and again, all platforms need to make money. That's what they're there for. Otherwise, why are they providing all these free services? So I get it. I get it. They do need to make money. Destashify. Yes, Lisa. Wow, you are brilliant. Thank you. So yeah, they need to make money too, and I get that. But I just think that there's making money, and then there's just crazy greed. When crazy greed gets out of control, that's when you're hitting people. And inflation just went up. The rate of inflation is steady climbing. Gas is outrageous right now. So, I mean, because gas is outrageous, everything that gets delivered is outrageous. The cost of mailing went up. The cost of groceries definitely went up. Anybody go shopping lately for a ham? Good Lord. Um, the cost of everything's going up. So, because of that, we also, though, as resellers, we have a good opportunity, I think, to take advantage of people's need and want, and the desire, and the market need for good deals on what we sell. 4.89 a gallon here. Can you believe it? Wouldn't it be cheaper to own a horse? Plus, your roses would have poop. I hear horse poop is good for roses. I don't know. I don't grow roses, but I'd be willing to try. Um, yeah, it's almost cheaper to buy a horse, to buy and feed a horse. We should all stay home for the day, and the gas prices will definitely go back down. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. There is the power. You affect people's pocketbooks, and they tend to respond quicker than they would if you affect anything else. Um, from what I understand, in the 70s, there was a very got your Vespa on deck. Sweet. What is that like? You get like 120 miles to the gallon on those. I think that's a great. Some places in Cali, it's over $9 a gallon. My God. Do they make you breakfast after they do that? Because they're screwing you. That came out harsh, but come on. I mean, at $9 a gallon, they are screwing you. Um, I just think that there's power. There is power in, it, and you can affect change by changing your spending habits. A guy that I worked with was telling me about this the about the pork strike in the 70s. And if you don't know, it had to do with the price of pork just rising and rising and rising. The pork growers were it was getting really out of control. And, um, at the time, it was the early 70s. And at the time, most of the housewives in America were still making dinners at home. And doing the grocery shopping. And these women decided to get together and, yeah, what happened to fixing my sleep schedule? I don't know. Good morning. I tried. I actually went to bed at a decent hour. I went to bed at midnight, which for me is a pretty decent hour. And my husband will not. He's snoring so loud. So I could go sleep in the guest room, but it's not that comfortable for me. So I took some melatonin, and once I do start to fall asleep, I will. Oh goodness! Oh, it looks like it's already starting to happen. Once I do start falling asleep, then I can, sort of ease myself back onto a normal sleep schedule. One day, imagine all those people not driving. Yeah. I'm up late. I usually hit around 2. Yeah. Hit it around 2. Yeah, we were just talking about how we're all kind of night walkers. We're all kind of like late night people. Um, Hello, Strong Minds. Good morning. Off to the airport tomorrow, back home to Canada. All right. I'm curious to find out what the cost of oil is in Canada. Is the cost of gas higher or lower than it is in the US? I don't know. It's all kind of tough to figure out where everybody's coming from. So, so yeah, I'm curious to know, Strong Minds, if you know what the cost of gas is in Canada right now for a gallon. In Missouri, it's less than $4 a gallon, but it is, yeah, it's messed up. That's the problem. What we need is everyone to go park their trucks in DC and block everything. Well, that is certainly one solution. But sometimes just, it's kind of like a bad relationship. Just walking away sometimes is the best answer. We can't afford to drive. I thank God I am at home, because when I was working full time, I was commuting an hour and 10 minutes a day. An hour and 10 minutes a day. Now, when gas was a little less expensive, not that not that big a deal, but every time the cost of gas would go up, I would suffer, because now it's cutting into my profits. 389 in MLPS. I'm assuming that's Minneapolis. Minneapolis, I think so. 560 a gallon in parts of Canada. My God. You're in Missouri. I'm in Kansas. Yeah, Willow. Hey, what's up, Midwestern girl? What's up, Tornado Alley, buddy? Yeah, I'm in Missouri. Missouri, as we say. No, I'm wrong. It's 7.12 a gallon. My God. My God. It's just crazy. That's nuts. I mean, that's absolutely nuts. Don't worry, I'm just sipping on old coffee. According to Google, well, you know, Google's usually more right than wrong. They're not always accurate, but they're more right than wrong. Funny thing is, Canada has a ton of oil, and they have to send it to the US to be refined, and then it is sent back to Canada. Oh, that makes sense, Michael. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, and the US is sitting on like some of the biggest oil reserves. Um, but we don't ever want to use our oil. We've gotten so used to and dependent on OPEC and getting um, imported oil, or at least we did. Yep, born and raised in Kansas, hick third generation that I know of. Yeah, Missouri redneck, baby. I got the hilly billies. Yeah, it's been tough with gas, and and it's there. There's so much. There's so much going on. The pandemic all over the place. Wars, all sorts of stuff. So it's easy to get. That's why the pipelines were so important to help everyone, not just the U.S. Yeah, we have to be careful, though, I think, with pipelines and stuff like that, don't we? I mean, from what I understand, they're not 100% crack proof. And water is kind of important too. So, yeah, just my just my personal take on it. But you know, Yes, it's crazy business. Yeah, it really is. So with the cost of everything going up, the fact that Etsy is like gouging their sellers is it's ridiculous. I understand price increases. I understand, like USPS, I don't really complain when they raise their rates, because I know that they do have to pay for the gas to get things from point A to point B. I get that. But when you are a platform and you're not paying for the gas and you're paying literally for the electronic presence and for the people who are employed by you to take care of your website, then it's it then it's getting to the point where, okay, that you have stockholders or something like that, and it feels greedy. It feels very, very greedy. And I mean, you want to enjoy the whole hog, but you don't want to be a pig. Bring your mask if you're coming to Philly. They just put the mask mandate back for indoor things again. Wow. Okay. I have anytime I go within city limits or within St. Louis County limit, there's usually a mask mandate at most places. But because I live in a more rural area, there's not really a mask mandate. Um, and it's not, at this point, it's a personal decision. If you want to stay safe, stay safe. I think we've all been either exposed to it or not at this point. I had it once. I only had it once, which is weird because my husband's had it twice, and I've run around the house with him having it. My kids have all had it twice, with the exception of my youngest son, who only had it once. But we have all taken turns being in quarantine, and we've all taken turns doing that. Um, and I got vaccinated, and I'm not even gonna get into whether or not we should be vaccinated, but I got the vaccination, um, and so I feel okay going to like a Goodwill that doesn't have a mask mandate without a mask. I like to keep one in my pocket though, just in case, because if you're following somebody and they start hacking, I get a little nervous. Does anybody get nervous if they see somebody just like hacking up a lung? I've been wearing a mask for the last 2 years. I like it. They can't see my resting bitch face. Yeah, yeah, Raven. That's the one thing I can like smile with my eyes. I think Tyra Banks called it smizing. So I can smile with my eyes for a little while, and I don't have to. The bonus is that if you have onions or garlic or something for lunch, you've got a little bit of a thing. When I was working in the hotel business, when I was a very young, naive desk clerk, I had a guy come in. I've never had anybody smell so much of pickles in my life. And pickles are great, but secondhand pickles, not so much. And I thought I was going to pass out by the end of that. By the end of checking this guy in, I was like, "Oh God, I'm going to throw up. This is so pickly." So yeah, it's if you have pickles or red onions and you don't get a chance to mint up after lunch, it's always a good idea to be just put on your mask, and covers a multitude of sins. Plus, my lipstick is lasting forever because who's gonna see it? All right, night night, everyone. See you all on the flip side. Cheers. Okay, mwah. Good night, Michael Whelan. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for popping in. Guys, I think I'm gonna go get an ice cream cone or an ice cream stick. So stick around. I'll be right back. Chat amongst yourselves. Give me 2 seconds and I'll be back. Hi, honey, I'm home. Yeah, I got my ice cream. I'm sorry, I'm like starving. I still wear a mask wherever I go, mostly doctor. Wow. So, Willow, you haven't been in a thrift store since the original shutdown. My God. Card chap, I do have ice cream. Don't pretend you're not jealous. It's really good. Oh, mm. Hi, Terry Berry. Welcome. Willow, I'm the same. If I catch COVID, I'll be the one that would be in the hospital. Me too. Me too. Well, I caught it once and it's strange because it has different effects on everybody. And sometimes sometimes it's something that affects you badly enough to be on a respirator. And sometimes it is um, something that you just get tired for a week. Like I just got really exhausted, and I have a cough that has not gone away. But smoking doesn't help. Since early 2020, I've been to Walmart once, Dollar Tree, and Hobby Lobby twice. That's it. Wow. Do you get things delivered, Willow? Saving money that way. Yeah. Withdrawals bad after the few weeks. That was okay. Nights, Michael. Wash hands. Oh, don't forget to wash your hands. I won't be here long. My meds will kick in soon. I'd be on a respirator. Yeah, yeah. Willow, you're at super high risk. Even a head cold can take you out. Oh man. No delivery? Are you growing your own food? Hmm. Hopefully there's somebody who can bring you stuff. Sorry guys, I don't normally eat and smoke and go without makeup in front of people. But this is the whole thing about the late night chat. We can just kind of be ourselves, be who we are. No filter. Mm. So your sister does the supply runs. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think you and Terry have a lot in common. That's yeah, the there's just again there's just so much going on worldwide, and you don't think it's going to affect your daily life, and then the next thing you know you're wearing a mask and you're paying $7 a gallon for gas. And the cost of ice cream goes up. If that's not sad, I don't know what is. So I hope everybody's doing well this Easter. Does anybody have any Easter plans? Hmm. There really are so many people that are in the same situation health wise. I mean, a lot of people are immunocompromised too. They'll have like a chronic illness or some sort of a situation where it really is a life or death situation. So being compromised like that, you got to be super duper duper careful. Hmm. So yeah, the cost of everything has gone up. Cadbury eggs were more expensive this year. Um, you're barbecuing a huge rack of ribs. Are you barbecuing those at 3:20 a.m. because you've got more respect from me than anybody? And also now I want ribs. Mm. Or are you doing that for Easter? I have a laundry list of medical conditions. Oh man, poor baby. Oh, okay, for Easter. I ribs are a great idea. Great idea. I have such a traditional family, and my cousin's like, "Oh, I'm buying your ham," and I'm like, "Oh, that's great." I didn't want to go to brunch or anything, so now I have 25 to 30 people coming to my house on Sunday. So making um, potato salad and deviled eggs, and ham and a regular salad and a macaroni salad, and then um, a cheese display, a charcuterie display, uh, and then two kinds of dessert. For all the money I've spent on groceries, I could have just taken my husband and my sister and my mom and I out to brunch. Mm, maybe some food if Sis and I can agree on something. Oh no, Willow. Raven's making ribs and that sounds awfully good. Send me your address. I'm coming over for Easter. Good morning, West Side. Mm, you come on by. We're gonna have a ton of food. I mean, just a ton. But there are certain things that I eat on Easter that I don't, that I only eat a couple of times a year. Potato salad is one of them. My mother makes the very best American potato salad. My mother in law makes the second best that I've ever had, and they are both just wonderful. And West Side, normally I try to sleep. I tried to sleep, but there's a lot of snoring going on. My dog is snoring almost as loud as my husband, and my husband is snoring so loud that it's like somebody's got a jackhammer in my bedroom. So I just cussed my way out of bed. Mm. Mm. Not a fan of barbecue. Now, do you like grilled stuff, like grilled steaks or like grilled fish or whatever, and just not a fan of the sauce? Or snoring is no joke. I'm telling you, it's yeah. And we have a spare bedroom, but I just don't want to take my pillow down the hall. My bed is much more comfortable than the spare bedroom bed. Hmm. Now, Terry, that's interesting. Where do you sleep? Oh, you sleep in a lift chair. I broil in the oven. Charbroil sets off my guts. I used to enjoy it though. You know what? Yeah. Poke him in the grommet. He'll quit snoring. I'm almost scared to ask what the grommet is, Raven. I'm waiting for an answer, but yeah, I have a lift chair too. My grandma had one. Those things are like such a blessing because now my mother has it, and you push a little button and it lifts you up and basically stands you up. Lisa, yeah, I told him he needs to get into a sleep study because there's no way you can snore like that without having sleep apnea. I mean, my God. Mm. West Side, you sleep well. Sleep well, buddy. And thank you for stopping by. Okay, that concludes my ice cream, and that was well worth it. Sorry, guys, but when you're in the mood for ice cream, you just gotta have one. That is what a lift chair is, Glam. Yeah, yeah. It just kind of like it's almost like a lounge chair, and you can take it back to where you can relax in the lounge chair, and you can actually sleep. Don't be scared. Use your imagination. Raven, I honestly, I have poked this man. I've rolled him over. If he gets a machine, it will change your life. What I'm afraid of is that then I'm going to be like up half the night with like the Darth Vader sound. And melatonin I found was like the very best way to relax and not have like the medicine head hangover like you do the next morning with like any of the PM stuff. Uh, so melatonin works. Oh, excuse me. It's starting to work now. Melatonin works pretty well, and uh, that's what mine does. I snore a lot, and I have a sleep apnea, but I can't use my BiPAP. But I do use oxygen though. Yeah, it's a recliner that's been modified. Yeah, 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 yeah. If he gets a machine, it will change your life. As long as I'm not up half the night, listening to it. Um, and we do that thing where now, from what I understand, I snore too. I'm a lady. I seriously doubt it. I think he's making that up. Um, but from what I understand, the CPAP machines can sort of make a lot of noise too. You have COPD, not sleep apnea, oxygen. Well, that makes sense for COPD. Yeah, absolutely. But I do use oxygen though. The machines are quiet now. It's quiet, a little too quiet. Oh, the CPAP machines are quiet now. Oh, nice. Yeah, because I used to hear there was like a really Darth Vadery sort of. I have both Willa and asthma. They aren't very loud. My CPAP connects to the top of my head. I look like an elephant. It's hilarious. That's what. Yeah, I'm trying to decide. Oxygen nebulizer, a bunch of inhalers. My God, Willow, that's a lot. That is a lot. So I went to St. Vincent de Paul today, and you looking like an elephant. Well, honey, I'm halfway there anyway. That's what I get for eating ice cream in the middle of the night. um, at least I'm starting to look like one from behind. Awkward. I had a boyfriend with one, and it didn't bother me at all. The snoring was definitely worse. Yeah, it's just so much snoring in this house, and it's partly my fault. Everything that comes into my home is way overfed. I tend to do that. It's just for COPD. 27 prescriptions. My God. Well, no wonder you can't afford gas, honey. That's 27 prescriptions. Good Lord. It's a miracle you can afford food. That's crazy. That is crazy. So I went to St. Vincent's today, and what I found was that I guess it's kind of a mid-month payment or something, um, because today was definitely, there were so many seniors that were out and about in the thrift stores, um, and one guy was kind of a bully. the one guy was kind of a bully. He got this giant basket and he would just like, and it was empty, but he would go like, it felt like every single aisle that I was down, this guy was coming in the opposite direction and he did not move out of the middle of the aisle. So I had to kind of scooch around him. And finally I just got aggravated enough. I'm like, okay, I gotta leave before I get cranky. You don't want to get there to the part where it's you don't want to be there to the point where um, you're really getting cranky. But I noticed this when I was checking out for the little stuff that I had, and I was just getting like Easter decor stuff for my dining room table because I have company coming. 25 to 30 people. That's the smaller part of my family. I have a huge family that they're so big. Um, all but two prescriptions paid for, but I still have between 500 and 200 in out of pocket every month. And that, honestly, Willow, that's miraculous. Oh, I hope they fix it soon. Medicare, Medicaid, it can get crazy on the whim of one politician, can't it? So sorry guys, allergies. Um so then I went to the grocery store and the same thing. The median age in that line was about 80. It was 80. So people my mother's age were in those grocery lines and in the thrift stores. And I really I this may be too one of the last calm days for them to shop before kids are off school and everybody's like getting crazy with the Easter shopping and stuff. I was going in a loop that I couldn't get out of. Oh, that's a shame, Terry. That is a shame. So yeah, it was definitely seniors day out and I'm not sure why. SSDI, um SSI. I don't know what SSDI is. That uh what is that? Social Security Disability Insurance, maybe? I don't know what those acronyms are. So anyway, I have been on for 48 minutes. My good lord, melatonin is starting to kick in. I may actually be able to sleep. But I've got my alarm set. Hopefully, I'll get up in time to pop into Johnny's show and say hi to everybody. But I want to thank you for hanging out with me this late at night. It's always nice to know that there's somebody else out there too who is also dealing supplemental security income. Okay. Um, it's always nice to know that there's company this late, and it just seems like every time I hop on really late at night, I've got at least a few folks who stop by. They're still up. You going back to bed too? Okay, night night, Miss Lisa. You sleep well. You sleep well, my love. Jersey Gypsy, one of my favorite people to see. She's always such a ray of sunshine. Card shop, you going back to bed too? I think we all are. So you sleep well. My meds are kicking in too. I'll talk later. I've been an insomniac all my life. Yeah, me too. So Terry, Willow, Card Shop, Jersey, Raven, if you're still in, anybody else who's in the chat that I have missed, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and letting me talk myself to sleep. And I'll see you on my live chat Thursday morning, 10 a.m. On Glamz Closet. And in the meantime, please take good care of yourselves. I hope each one of you have wonderful dreams tonight. Sleep well. Good night. Glamma loves you.